wordcast.
Do you know, I saw a documentary about one of these Ibiza places, and the dance floor is slightly domed. It's not quite flat. And they showed this kind of time-lapse thing of all these English red people, kind of sweaty red people, going in at, 3 in the morning and dancing and so on. And then they all sort of disappeared slowly about sort of 10 in the morning, like that. And the shower heads came down from the ceiling and managed to just hose away on this domed floor, which had gutters around it, all the hideous fluids and grotesque torn condoms and vile syringes and vomit and all the detritus, all the sort of things that come from an Englishman, basically.
And yet, as it turned out earlier in the year, we're only the 5th worst tourists in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah, there are worse tourists than us.
The
French are the worst, apparently.
Well, they're the rudest.
Apparently, according to hoteliers, 15,000 hoteliers, a survey found.
Wow.
15,000 hoteliers were questioned, and we were by no means the worst. Which is odd, because we are an embarrassment.
Why have you learned that fact? You've learned that fact that the French are worse tourists than
because I like France, and I've worked... Yeah. I think I've worked... The French never... When have you ever seen a French person out of France?
Well, 75% of French people holiday in France.
Yes, exactly. You never... How do they know how bad they are?
French hoteliers.
Yes, must be French. I hate myself. The Russians are bad, apparently. But no, the French came bottom, and I just thought that can't be right, because I'm such a Francophile that I thought...
Well, it's the 25% of Frenchmen who don't like their own country, who I guess are
yes,
weird
exactly.
Anyway.
Just I don't like having my family here at summertime. Be rich.
It must have threatened your general internationalist view of humanity as one big brotherhood to learn.
Yes, because the Americans won it. Now, of course, they're obscene.
Well, they are polite, Americans. Can you be honest? They are. I mean, much politer than French and Italian and Spanish. I mean, you go to an art gallery or something with French and Italian and Spanish children. They elbow, they stare at you
Italian
without
old
not
ladies
a single human
are really,
instinct.
really funny for pushing.
Who? Who are?
Italian old ladies.
Oh, yeah, they are, absolutely.
Apart from the fact that they're the smallest old ladies in the world. They love to push in. Passport control, ski lifts, restaurants, toilets, anything. Suddenly there's one up behind you through your leg.
If you're married...
It's really funny for once.
If you're married to an Italian
more
girl...
and more like a gentleman's club.
Well, you're an awful Italian girl. At what point, when do you... Because you marry this ravishing beauty, I should imagine. A lot of very, very beautiful
Italian. You wake up one morning and she's about that big.
Yes.
With trying to get in front of you to the shower.
Bags. Pushing you.
Who are you? I'm the wife. Get out of the way.
Well, he took a Sophia Loren
and a moustache.
And a moustache.
Well, it's the sun. You take a plum, and you put it in the sun, and 2 days later it's a prune. And that's the same with humans. You see, whereas
2 days.
Swedes and English girls and boys, they keep their nice skin tone for years because it's cold.
And Americans just swell up and sound like...
Jag har varit på semester I Marbella och bara tänker och drömmer spanjol.
The good thing about the Himalayas is that they will one day cause the extermination of Greece. Greece has only got 3 million years left and it's gone.
What have you got against Greece?
They put me in prison, that's what I've got against.
What have you done or not done?
I can't remember what I'd done. I was on my way to prison. I disliked them, and they wear pom-poms and their army shoes.
And skirts.
Well, they arrested you and put you in prison for a long while?
No, I escaped. I escaped with a friend.
Has someone got the film rights for this?
No, it was fantastic. There were 2 fat slob policemen made us push their police car, which they'd broken the key off in the ignition. They made us push it. So transferring us from, I suppose it would have been to the courthouse. I was still quite difficult to remember. And we got to the top of a hill and just pushed it off. We were both in bloody handcuffs, which is a pain, but we had to go and get those off, and they just tunnelled to the bottom of the hill, by which time we'd made good our escape. But nevertheless,
they're rubbish.
I'm allowed to celebrate the Greeks disappearing into the Aegean, or wherever it is they're going.
That
was the QI. Thank you and good night.
Hej!